What did you think about what happened last night, Aaron? What do you think Buck should have done? Let's put it that way.
Yeah, at the risk of piling on, Zach Britton's got to be in that game. And I thought when Brian Dunsing started the inning, when they first came back from commercial, I figured it was Britton. Just I saw the lefty at first, and then realizing it was Brian Dunsing, and I was like, ooh, top of the order here, 11th inning. Up to this point, I think they used I think he pushed all the right buttons. I think he used all the right guys. But at that point, I felt like this has got to be Zach Britton now. And you go with them for as long as he can, maybe 2 innings if you can, even more. But that felt like the time. Now the Dunsing works out. Okay, now they go to the bullpen. And when you go to Ubaldo, I know he's came in having pitched well down the stretch. But this is a new role. I mean, coming out of the bullpen, that's a different animal. And with Ubaldo, the issues he has are with command sometimes. So I don't think you can roll that dice against that part of the lineup. At that point in the game with Zach Britton sitting down there. Now, once he gives up a hit, once he gives up the second hit, it's still not too late to bring in Britton. You now at that point need to get a ball on the ground. And Zach Britton's as good as anyone at getting the ball on the ground. And even against that part of the lineup with that sinker, that's your best chance because you're really up against it now with a couple runners on and the meat of the order coming up. So I was stunned that we don't ever see him in that game. And unfortunately for Buck, I think it's a question he's going to have to answer probably for the rest of his life.
So if you had the druthers to turn the Wayback Machine, you would have started the 11th with Britton, or you'd have brought him in the middle of the meltdown?
I think I start the inning with him in the 11th. Actually, Dan Schulman and I are sitting there watching it, texting back and forth with each other, and we're like, oh, we were shocked when it was Dunsing. And I felt like, yeah, the 11th, you've used all your good relievers, Brock and O'Day, all, I think, the correct choices. But now at that point, I thought it was time to go with Britton. And after a couple innings, if you still haven't scored and you're in that situation, then I think you hand the keys over to Ubaldo starting an inning, and then you're going to ride him as long as he can go. But I think Britton had to be in that game at that point.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.